Like, is he cheap? Thank God the blow knocks her house.
Ser-
I do the coin.
no.
All right.
Look like a deer in front of headlights right now, concert. Hi, I'm Tim Somerville.
And I'm Michael Dempsey, and this is Off the Market with Team Somerville.
Well, listen, another episode. We're in episode 8.
That's right. It's very exciting. We've got a good episode for you today. A couple things we're going to talk about is we're just going to say, where's the market right now? While you're listening to this, the month of January is come and gone. So where's the market? We're going to talk about how you can place your offer. As far as strategically placing your offer, those secrets, you'll have to work with Team Somerville to get those bad boys.
Yeah.
But we're going to walk you through the process. And we're also going to talk about a few things that maybe grind our gears or get on our nerves.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl. We could talk about VD. I mean, well, Valentine's Day, that is.
Oh, yeah.
No. And with that in mind,
Come care back.
no. Yeah, how to prevent sleeping on the couch.
Yes.
So let's start. Let's get right into it. And so let's start with let's start with real estate.
Let's start with real estate.
So where is the market?
Where's the market at right now? And of course, we always like to focus on residential sales, as that is the majority of sales within our markets. So the average sale price of residential single family home is hovering around $328,000.
Okay.
And that is all within the St. John County.
Okay, list to sale.
List to sale price is holding strong at 100% of asking price. Now, we do see some fluctuation from month to month. Remember, we're just coming off Christmas, the holidays, things like that. If offers were to be placed in December, they're closing right about now, which brings me to my next point that days to sell is currently 55 days on average.
Okay.
And that sounds like a lot because in previous months we've had, 40 days.
Yes.
We even had, in some months as low as 28.
That's right.
But it's just that carryover. Maybe somebody got a great offer in place in November and they just did not want to move, too close to the holidays.
Sure.
So they close in January. As far as how many listings are actively out there right now, well, as of this morning, there's only 122.
Wow.
That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Not for residential property, is it?
For St. John.
When you think of So back to the 100%. Most cities, they're not there.
No.
They're not at 100%.
No.
So when we have to look at going to our clients and saying, listen, you need to list here, hoping to sell here. What we have to understand is, especially with the market time, that you may or may not be getting as high a price as you may or may not want. Well, of course you'd want, but what you have to understand is that even though the inventory is low, and even though the buyers, there are some out there, maybe not a lot, weather has really played havoc.
It's been a little rough.
Yeah.
Now, in our region, it's been a lot colder than we've been used to. Let's just say the last couple of winters have not been that bad.
Oh, fantastic.
Really good. I mean, as far as cold, like temperature wise and like dump of snow wise, we've been doing well.
Did you help me put the boat in last spring?
Uh,
It was in May.
in May.
Yeah, late
Yeah,
May.
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't help me take them out.
I didn't. No. No. Okay. Yeah. Crazy.
I was out there.
I was somehow on the other side of the world in Cambodia.
Yeah, you had to.
Lucky.
Was that what it was?
It was. Yeah. I remember coming back.
Oh,
I drove by your house and I'm like, oh, thank God, the docks are house.
yeah.
Because that was
Yeah,
November. Or late October, November. I remember I missed Halloween.
that's right.
But
My goodness, that was.
anyways, it has been colder.
Yeah.
We received more dumps of snow than, we really care for.
Yeah.
Again, at the end of the day, I try to tell myself it's winter, but these temperatures we normally don't see till like February.
Oh, I agree. And February, I've been told, is actually not going to be much better. So that puts us in a position where when we come to our clients, what we are telling them is, yes, you can be patient on putting your home on the market for many reasons. Personal reasons, maybe you don't want to have to leave your home with storms or with snow and with the cold and everything else. But what we are also telling you is that with the market where it is right now, and the fact that we're still getting very close, if not above list price, that it is still a good opportunity to sell.
Still very strong.
I have a few listings coming that, of course, the team will have its ability to try to sell. And one thing that I am noticing is that the motivation of the sellers this time of year is usually pretty high.
Yeah.
right? Springtime, a lot of times it's like, oh, if it happens today, tomorrow, it's okay. But when people are putting their homes on the market this time of year, there's usually a good level of motivation. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to take, a big hit on the price. But what it tells you is that the buyers and sellers, a lot of times, I find that they can find common ground to put the deal together.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, like you said, when if people are putting their homes on the market now, this time of year, there's a good reason. It's not just to capitalize on a good selling price. It's like you say, they're switching provinces. They're
Yeah.
going to get into that as well. There's usually a darn good reason.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, if the timing is right for you, before we hit the spring market, and there's so much more competition. I mean,
Oh,
now's definitely the time, and I think we've emphasized that a few times. At least call and have us in and
well,
have a chit chat about when you are ready. Well, what's that number look like?
Well, you would hit on something that I should mention, and that is that of the last 10 transactions or clients that I have been dealing with, I would say at least 50% has been outside of New Brunswick. So people are coming. Doctors in Halifax. There was a doctor in Montreal. They are now here. I have one from Trenton, Ontario that's coming. I have one from Ottawa, Ontario that's coming, and one from Barrie, Ontario that bought. Great people will definitely, do their best to make their mark here in New Brunswick.
Absolutely. So yeah. Yesterday, I picked up a London, Ontario buyer.
Okay.
And I have a solid offer with a lady from California as well,
Okay.
who's looking at the permanent residence, and she's been looking for quite some time.
Okay.
She's out enjoying it there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we're happy to have her.
And we're not the geriatric capital of Canada. Oh, yeah. But what I will tell you is that we are noticing that there's a real mix. There are people that are considering New Brunswick for retirement, but there are people that are coming here for employment as well. So, it's nice to see,
Nice to see that mix.
Of course, of course. Knowing that where our population is compared to other areas in Canada, our population allows, again, I mean, there's so much forested and uninhabited land that people do enjoy New Brunswick for, of course, all it offers, but also the natural resources around it. And again, the environments that you can surround yourself with.
Hey, funny baby.
Yeah, so, talking about population and talking about location and everything else, we're now what, over 8 billion in this world? It is.
Yeah.
I think it's 8.2, 8.3 billion, right?
Last time I counted.
Yeah, last time you counted, please. Okay, get your okay abacus out and we'll be good.
I don't think it goes that high.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Okay. Yes, abacus. Okay. Yes, search that on Google.
Yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by the word
Abacus. But saying that, so I actually wanted to find out when we actually hit 7 billion and when the forecast is of 9 billion. So
That's it.
so you don't know this
No.
because again,
You're researching
I
this.
like to throw this at you.
Surprise.
7 billion we hit in 2011.
2011.
8 billion we hit in 2022. Okay? 11-year difference. Okay? When do you think we're going to hit 9 billion?
Well, there's some tight, birth
Yep.
rules in some countries. Well, I would argue 2030.
Actually, population is starting to decline. So what they predict, the forecast is 2037. And I thought that was unique because
Way up.
to go from 7 billion to 8 billion in 11 years and now all of a sudden the next billion, right? Because usually you have that flow, that snowball effect that it just keeps populating and populating. To see it and see that it's going to take quite a bit longer than the 11 years, almost 15 years, makes me believe that also we can throw right back into real estate. And so what we see is with the population decline, we'll see what the needs of the consumer will definitely change, right? And so we're not going to look at these 2-story, 6-bedroom homes unless we're combining families. We also, though, we don't want that small condo that's 400 square feet for $850,000. So what we're hoping is that when people look at New Brunswick, you're getting a 12, 13, 1,600 square foot bungalow with a full basement that the square footage is not even included, for what'd you say the average was? 300 what?
328.
328. Like in Canada, to get something like that with some land and the resources we have,
You could potentially build a small garden home
Yep.
with not even half of that footprint for that price.
Right.
So the affordability is still very good.
Very much so. And that's why I think that we're seeing some of these people from London and Trenton and parts of Ontario and even farther, consider New Brunswick, because even though the market in those areas, I believe, will actually increase from last year, not much, but a little, um, the affordability and likability of New Brunswick, and especially southern New Brunswick, where we're from, really seems to be catching on. Still, would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Laura, do you talk to? Glad you agree. I'm not that agreeable usually. It's interesting. I mean, we could probably dive deeper into this, but there's a lot of things that come into play when why are we taking so long to get to that 9 billion?
Okay.
Is it because of affordability in some regions? Is it the decline of the birth rates? Just getting more expensive to.
Oh, there's so many reasons.
There's so many reasons.
Yeah,
And I'm not a
Yeah.
did you say economic? I can't even say the word.
Economist?
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to school for that.
Okay. Yeah, you're
As
not.
you can say, I can't even say it.
Yeah. So, what I would say is there are some, I guess you could say, reasons that we can discuss with, with public. And then there are also other reasons that really are somewhat questionable. And all I mean by that is affordability to me is very important. So you can't have large families if you can't afford to have large families. And we're definitely in a different day where, again, when we look at how families were years and years ago to now,
12 kids, working on the farm
Yeah.
since you turned 4.
but you know what? But guess what? Mom and dad were around. Grammy and Grampy were around, right? And uncles were around. This, that, everything else. We see a difference in that.
Yeah.
So we also see that again when we look at the professions. What people do. There are many different professions out there that may, I guess you could say, inhibit families from growing. A lot of traveling, doing this, doing that. So we have to look at society and say we're at a point where yes, we're seeing population decline or slow down the rate, and that follows through with everything. From again, from real estate as what we do, but almost everything I think will feel that
Yeah.
in years to come.
Yeah. You bring up a great point. We've seen an increase in in-law suites.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going back to the old times of, you would take mom and dad in, or, just mom or just dad, if
Right.
God bless their soul, one of them, we lost one of them. But we're seeing a huge increase.
And to affordability.
Absolutely. You take in mama and she's got a little, a pension. I mean, that's another top. It's not that much for her. It's hard to live off a pension. So you got her in the in-law suite, and so yeah.
Well, and we talk about that because of the uncertainty right now in so many things. I know my wife and I, we were talking about our daughter's RESP. What would see? I'm serious, yes, and yeah, true. Well, we're not getting respect on our RESP. Well, we've seen a decline in the value of that, and that's hard because that's our daughter's future, and that's helping us try to make sure that she's educated in a manner so that she can be happy and successful in years to come. So seeing items like that come down really puts us in a not a fearful mind, but a skeptical mind on how to move forward and to progress in the right way. So yes, this is off topic, off the market, but what I would say is that it's very important to be knowledgeable and always watching, being cognizant of what's happening around you. The surroundings are so important, and that's with real estate. Now let's go back to real estate. Um, I like acronyms. Okay. Now acronyms, there are many out there that, and again, we didn't talk about this, that we could get into. Some we can talk about on this show, and some that you and I could laugh about afterwards. You know, a unique acronym, and I won't tell you what it stands for, but we could look at IKEA, and we could look at ASAP, and we could look at, Nabisco and different companies that, you wouldn't realize. Did you know Yahoo was an acronym?
I had no.
Yeah, yeah, and the words for it are kind of unique as well. But Yahoo was an acronym. I couldn't get over
I
that.
had no idea.
Yeah,
I just assumed as a search engine, people are like, Yahoo! I found what I was looking for.
which is no, that's great. That's great. For real estate, we talk about different things. One of the big ones from one of my favorite movies, Glengarry Glen Ross, was, and they show it there, but I've seen it before, is ADA: attention, interest, desire, and action. Right, and we won't get into those. But what I will tell you is that although it's not an acronym, when we look at real estate, I'm always looking at different ways of, helping promote the team and making sure that we're moving in the same direction. So I always call it the KISS theory, right? Keep it simple, stupid, right? So anyway,
HR.
yeah, but I do like for real estate that I think if somebody says, what can you do to define real estate? I could define it with 5 P's, okay? And sometimes this is used also for property management and different things. But we have to remember that, again, we need people, right? And without people, we don't have a job. We need product, right? And again, the product itself, of course, are homes, land, multifamilies, commercial, whatever it is. We need the price, right? Can't sell the product without the price. There's also the promotion, what we are doing to sell it. And so with Team Somerville, believe me, we are promoting and marketing your home as much as we can. And then last but not least, we also have the process. And the process, of course, is not just paperwork, but it's the process of making sure that we do our best to build that relationship, before you buy, while you're buying, and of course after. And that's important to us, right? We look at different things and say, what can we do to make sure that those 5 P's, are done in a manner that, again, when you're done, with your process of purchasing a property or selling a property, the Team Somerville, again, will be a name and, of course, a realtor or a group of realtors that you would use. So we do our best to do that.
Absolutely. And I want to point out to the listeners who are not watching on YouTube that those are not in Tim's notes. He just spouted those off like it was nothing. I'm very impressed. I was glancing over at his notes and I'm like, is he cheating? No, very well said. I appreciate it.
Perfect then. Okay. Let me just look here. Wait a moment. Oh no, I just
No, very well said.
yeah, but it's true though. When we look at that, so it's important for us. It's important for us because when we discuss, you as a client, what we want to do is make sure that, again, that we it's not that we dumb it down for ourselves, but we make sure that we define exactly how we want to treat all our clients. Okay, and that's important. Before we go any further, though, it should be noted. How many subscribers do we have right now? I think we're hovering near 300. Yeah, near 300, 280, 280.
280, our producer's saying on camera.
Okay, so I want you to know that below you can subscribe to this podcast, and we'd love for you to do so. And if you're local, if you do subscribe, what's coming up is the home show as March 20th to the 22nd, right? If you do subscribe and you'd like to go to the home show, which is at the TD Center here, TD station, let us know as well, and we'll do our best to get you a couple tickets for the home show. We'll be there.
Absolutely, we'll be there.
Yeah, we've been at, I believe, every home show. We are the only real estate company to have that type of, I guess you could say, recognition. When you come down the stairs and you make your way to the exhibits, you will usually see us right there. And every home show we have a draw, so we'd love to see you. And there's usually a member of Team Somerville at almost every at every time. So come down, say hi. If it's not us, we have some great realtors here at Royal LePage Atlantic that would love to say hi and see what your plans are for the spring.
And we personally reach out to, at least one mortgage broker, maybe your insurance agent, just to help answer any of those questions that may come up.
Yeah.
We always try to be prepared for that.
So what else coming up on the calendar?
What else coming up on the calendar? Well, you mentioned VD Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. So by the time this is posted, it's important to know. I mean, we've come to a point where COVID now has changed many things, and people, of course, are going out more and more than even prior to COVID. So if you haven't set up for reservations for February 14th, you may not get a reservation.
You may be 6 months too late.
Now, we at Team Somerville, we've done many different things for Valentine's Day. We've gone to coffee shops and given out roses in the brisk cold outside at the drive-through. We have given free coffee. We have done a variety of different things. This year, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a senior care facility. We're going to give a nice Valentine's Day package, cupcakes. We'll also give some word searches, a few things like that. Just try to give back and do something a little different. So I don't know what you're doing for friends, family, your loved one, but hopefully it's something special. Are you doing anything with Heidi?
Concert.
Concert? Oh yeah.
It's some candlelight.
Oh yeah.
I don't know much.
Okay. Yeah, you look like a deer in front of the headlights right now. Concert.
Everyone knows. Don't know what is that. The dude just shows up. All right, like you're gonna get married, the dude shows up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just tell me where to be.
I know. Okay.
And I'm usually ready before her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Have the car warm. Have the car warm.
Not to be that guy, but like you always tell her you love her. Tell her you love her every day.
There we go.
Yeah, you don't need a special day.
Okay. Flowers, very important, of course. You get to a point where, chocolates, gifts, and everything else. It's always nice to get something, don't get me wrong, but just to be able to spend that time with someone that you care about, I think is, very special.
But there's a bigger Valentine's Day for the men coming up.
Oh, yes.
Super Bowl.
Well, yes, yes. Now, before you go there,
Are you sure?
oh yeah, before you go there, I do want to mention that Tracy and I actually, we've done it before. We're going to do the walk on Digby. We'll head over. If you've never been to Digby, they have Valentine's Day packages. We're looking forward to it. The big thing about it is the fact that, again, it's just a way to get away and so forth. But do take a look. There are so many places in Atlantic Canada that are not far that, again, provide what I would say phenomenal items to capitalize on. So Super Bowl, yes, that's the men's Valentine.
Yeah, that's the men's Valentine's Day. So we've got the Seahawks and we've got the Patriots. And before Tim and I sat down, we had a little chat, and it was very interesting. So Sunday, was it February 9th? I might have my calendar wrong.
Okay, it's not this Sunday. Following.
No, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Good night. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Second, first would be the 8th, wouldn't it? I think it's February 8th.
You think a realtor would know that?
Sunday, February.
Sunday the 8th.
Yes, that's right. There you go. Yeah. So Sunday, February.
Close on houses on Sunday.
Right. So Sunday, February 8th, Super Bowl, Seattle Seahawks, great defense and phenomenal quarterback against, New England, who, again, had a horrible year 2 years ago, and this past year has just turned it on. Very, very entertaining quarterback to watch. Should be an exciting game.
So I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
We'll have a fun little banter.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
So it's $5 a bet.
$5
a bet.
$5. Oh, yeah.
Who's winning? Coin toss. I'll keep it simple.
Oh, no, I'm not doing the coin toss.
Not do the coin toss?
No.
All right, tell you what.
I want to do the goat.
Raising who's winning?
Oh, well, that's for me. I mean, to me, I'm going to say it's a no-brainer, and then all of a sudden I jinx them.
Yeah.
I think Seattle's the strongest of the two.
Really?
Yeah. But
there's a lot of Patriots fans that are spitting at the camera.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you odds. I'll give you 2-to-1 odds. $2 to $5. Okay, yeah. So $5 I'll get, $10 you get.
That'll buy me like 3 cups.
No, listen, maybe even 4. It matters.
All right.
Okay.
You got the Seahawks. You got the Patriots.
Yeah.
I heard it now.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay, don't be calling in.
What are they winning by?
Now this is the crazy.
I know.
Okay, I think that they're actually going to win by, I'd give anybody 9 points. So I think they're going to win by 10.
10?
Yeah, 10. So we'll see. 10 plus.
Yeah.
I'd love to say it's going to be closer.
I got to call Vegas.
Yeah, you do that. You do that. So, we're talking about off the market right now and so forth. Super Bowl is probably one of the top 5 dates for restaurants. Okay. So when you think about how busy they are, all the guys at the bar, everything else, rounding up the top 5, of course, you have a few things, of course. And so when you look at the top day, right? Do you know what the most busiest day in a restaurant is? Oh, deer in front of headlight.
Yeah, I am. I would assume it would be Super Bowl. So.
No, Mother's Day is the busiest,
Son of a gun.
followed by Valentine's Day. Important to get that done. And then Father's Day is there. And then to round up the top five, because Super Bowl is there, is New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve.
Makes sense.
So, yeah. So, working in restaurants for years, there were certain days that I never asked to have off because I knew I wouldn't get them off. But New Year's Eve was always fun. But Mother's Day was always, to me, the busiest. Because, listen,
Probably a lunch. With
yeah,
it.
yeah, usually a brunch.
Yeah,
You've got,
brunch, yeah.
but for most men, and I'm just being honest, what do they want to do on Father's Day?
Nothing.
Well, barbecue.
Barbecue.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite?
Don't want to go out.
No, favorite smell in the world for me is the barbecue.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Favorite sound? The OSHA.
I was gonna say sizzle.
That's up there. That's up there. That's up there.
Oh, the ocean's fantastic.
Oh my goodness. So back to real estate again, though. I know that one important part is the legal process.
Yeah.
And we're talking about processes and everything else within those 5 P's. So I'm going to ask you, is there a difference when you're buying and selling in cost?
In cost?
Yeah, for a lawyer?
Yes,
Okay.
slightly.
Okay, tell me how.
Well, as a buyer, you're gonna have your lawyer cost. You're gonna have your land transfer tax. That's pretty much the bulk of it.
Yeah, your adjustments.
Your adjustments.
Could be big with the taxes.
Yeah, could be tax adjustments. Could be fuel adjustments.
Yeah.
But as a seller, actually the expense for the lawyer is usually a little bit lower.
Right.
They're just, they're not. I'm not going to say just, but they're doing the research on the property. They're making sure they have a clean title that it can exchange hands like that. I'm not going to go on record saying it's less work. That's not true.
No.
But as the buyer, you
That's
are paying a little extra out of pocket.
That's right. And you have to take that in mind. And do you know what the percentage is that a buyer should have prepared?
We like to say 8% of the sale price.
So depending on the time of year, it's anywhere between 2.5 and about 7.5. But for us, with our land transfer of 1%, what I would say is that most should be between 3 and 5%. So keep in mind.
Sorry, I was including 5% deposit.
Right. So 5% plus the 3.
Plus the 3. Yeah.
Right. So with that, and again, and I'm with you on that. So when you look at your 5% deposit, keep in mind that there are a few ways to get that. If you're a first-time home buyer, we'd love to talk to you about different manners to get that. If you're not, we can talk to you about, of course, different ways that we could try to help you do that as well. But at the end of the day, what we want you to know is the fact that we at Team Somerville, we try to make sure that you are aware of this before the offer is put in place.
Absolutely.
We want to have this discussion because the last thing we want is for you to have to pay a specific amount on a property only to find out the closing costs may actually get in the way.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't have, let me say mommy and daddy to give you front you a few extra bucks to close on the home. So it's important to know all those upfront costs.
I do. The legal fee actually for a buyer or a seller is very similar.
Very similar.
See, for us, it's usually about $750 plus tax, but you may as well say within that $1,000 range. It's all the additional charges that you'll have to take into consideration. And when buying, as Michael was saying, yes, there are more. But one thing we want you to know, though, is that when we're looking at the legal process, we ask that you do not get the lawyer involved until we have that firm sale. We want you to make sure that you know who you're using, maybe even reach out to them, but we do not want the lawyer to do work until the offer is in, at least until the offer is in, because we've seen in the past some solicitors will actually start to bill you from that moment. We want to make sure that, of course, until the deal is firm, right, you're not being charged. And, we do. We use lawyers that, again, understand some of those transactions do not come together and, again, have more or less waived any fees up to that point. And, of course, as you may or may not know, buyers really, they don't hand us any money at this time. The majority of our sales come through, of course, the commission, which is done, of course, at the sale when it is firm.
Yeah.
Right.
And we always said we get paid last.
That's right. So again, I want you to understand that we're excited to be able to be speaking to you about, of course, on and off the market. We want you to subscribe. Again, any any interest about real estate or I guess off the market, we'd love to hear your opinion. And again, so I'll let you wrap up by saying,
Yes, well, thank you for joining us again. I'm Michael Dempsey.
I'm Tim Somerville, and you are on Off the Market.